Hey there, happy Thursday, it's me Vic here. Gonna do one quick video lesson out there. Hopefully you're having a safe trading week. Just gonna go over some setups that I took a part of, and hopefully y'all understand something of this. Again, all of these are for educational purpose only, alright? Not a financial advice, I'm not a master, I'm not a millionaire yet. I'm just kind of along in this en route to becoming a profitable trader. Alright, but before we begin, you should pretty much already know my trading methodology. The setup you see in front of you is pretty much the exact same stuff I do over and over again. Of course, there's some other setups, but really, as a trader, whoever you are getting started, you really want to narrow your focus down. As I mentioned, whenever you have a current market environment that we're in right now, sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And I always say that, like, I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult. You want that dopamine hit. You want that rush. You want that adrenaline rush. And believe me, I've been there. I've been there to where, like, you feel the need to trade in a sense. You feel like you have to do something, or it feels like you're wasting time. But I want to remind you, okay, that most people in this industry do not make it. I want to remind you that most people in this industry don't last very long, and there's a reason for that, and I went over that in previous video lessons. But mainly is overtrading and boredom, you know. And the current market environment we're in right now, as I mentioned, whenever you have pretty much the moving average is sloping downwards, like as you can see on this daily chart here, as I mentioned, it's been sloping downwards for the past really month now. And again, the market is a business, okay? There's going to be numerous opportunities every day. That does not mean that because nothing's ever definite, nothing's ever finite. This market is random, okay? Treat everything randomly. And just because the moving average is surfing downwards doesn't mean there's not going to be plays. Yes, there is, as I'll go over some plays here in a minute, but it's just the odds of them working out are less, and you have to be you always really want to be on defensive mode. Again, risk management is very important. That's one of the key trading pivotals of any trader, risk management. But whenever you have them surfing downwards, you just have to be very risk adverse. And right now we're kind of in this range where we could have a potential bounce. Who knows? Again, no one knows nothing. Stop trying to find bottoms, stop trying to find the top, just be reactive. And during times like this, take a break, go study the past. I've been going to the river this whole month because there hasn't really nothing that fits my criteria. Like today, for instance, was a freaking fantastic day. RGC, congrats to anyone who did nail on this. I missed it. The exact same type of setup. Of course, hindsight's 2020. You never really know how high these can go. But you know, you buy the range break. As I mentioned, it's pretty much the same shit. Range break there, range break there, and of course, you're never really gonna know how high these can go, of course. But today I did take part of CRVO. CRVO, for instance, was one. But I'll get to that in a moment. But as I was mainly just talking about that, whenever the market conditions that we're in right now, I'll go with the SPY is better. Just understand that sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing. And right now, we're kind of basing, who knows, I hope we go lower. That sounds really bad. But you have to understand, most of the big money is made after somewhat of a recession / pullback. Like during COVID, as I mentioned. During COVID, after that March 2020, during that March, that was a massive washout. We had the greatest 2 years of stock market history, and there were plays every day. So I hope we go lower. If not, then we just have to be reactive. And there's still plays every day, by no means. It just depends what type of trader you are. Again, I don't know who you are as a trader. Your goal is to, in the beginning, if you're just watching this, okay. Again, I've been doing this for about 6.5 years. I get it. You want to trade. You want to. But I promise you, it's not going to go nowhere. It's not going to go nowhere. If you're just getting started, you don't know what to do. So you're like a sponge. Absorb everything and just keep a database of what works for you. Okay? It's going to take time and mostly lessons along the way. Those failures, don't let them deter you. Don't let them... If you really want to do this, if this is your calling, if this is your why, you have to embrace it, okay? And I've come a long way. As I mentioned, your goal is to really keep a database of stocks. That's really what you want to do. Okay, something like this in an Evernote or something. I just keep it in this: opening range highs and episodic pivots, and mean reversions, and some stuff like the other plays. But really, these open range high plays are the ones I really focus on. Like our GCA miss, as I mentioned. Congrats to him, he did nail that one. Again, I'm not saying I would have got long, but it's pretty much high day break at 1520. With CRVO, I missed this one initially out of the break of 7. I was pissed off. I was at the river that day, and again, as I mentioned, look how again stocks move in stairs. Biotech company number 1, ADR is roughly 22%. Again, higher the ADR, the greater the move this can potentially run. And always, again, let's look at this chart here. Look at the long-term chart. The reason why I love this chart, because number 1, it's a bottom feeder stock chart, meaning that it's like similar to PSTV, and I guess RGC, same type of way, because there's more risk to reward on the upside. Okay, meaning that you know there's going to be those short sellers who say this company's shit, blah blah blah. Again, yes, these companies are shit, but that does not mean they cannot go higher. Again, these companies likely are going to go bankrupt. These small cap ones, they're not going to make it in the end. Okay, the news on this, I believe, was March 12th, was last Tuesday. And again, I look at the news, it does play a factor, but really the only thing that matters is price action. It was some clinical study. And again, these biotechs, it's in their best interest to raise money. That's why it's in their best interest to get the stock price higher. As I mentioned, you want a story in something you're buying. If you're going long, you want a reason for this to go up. You want fuel. They have earnings and other stuff and price targets, that's news, okay? You want a reason for this to go up, okay? So let's just put this into overall context. Okay, number 1, it's biotech. Number 2, FDA news, great. Put earnings and a price target. Number 3 is short interest. The short interest is extremely high on this one particular stock. Again, it's all about supply and demand. Okay, within the overall stock, I think the float is like, let me see, the float is low. I think. Yeah, the float is roughly 5.6. That's well, ain't that bad. Well, this may not be accurate here. The short interest on here says it's something higher. I don't know. But the point being, the float is extremely short. The float is extremely thin, 5.65 million float. But I mean, there's a lot. I don't really care. I'm not going to waste my time. But the short interest, it says is high. Again, this stock didn't go from the low of $2 to the high of $12 because of the FDA news. No, that's idiotic. That's just like the same type of deal. The short interest, huh? Oh, wow. So 17% of the shares are float. Wait, hold up. The company reported that 904,000 of shares short. Oh, okay. So 17% is float of the stock. Okay, cool. But it's just like saying like, so just like RGC. Congrats. But this did not go to her. This did not go from $5 to a high of 45 because of the news. I don't even think there was news on this. Was there news? Again, I say news in quotation marks, and most of this shit is bullshit. Yeah, earnings. Oh no, that's the wrong. There's no news. It's a short interest. Okay, the short interest is extremely high on this one stock. As I mentioned, ADR is roughly 30%. Go over here, and this is what I do. This is pretty much what I do when I look at a stock, and I'm gonna do a video in the future about how I go and determine which ones to trade, because all this I do in real time. Whenever I see a particular play. Unless it's a swing trade, I did it the day before. But if it's an intraday, I want to know the reason for that. And the shares float. Look at this shit. There's less than 1 million float. Okay, it's supply and demand, meaning that today, the volume today was 1 million. But let's take, for instance, the first run-up day. It traded the float 24 times roughly. So there's shorts that are trapped in this. It's supply and demand. So you have layers of shorts that are going to be stuck in this thing. And I just want to put out there, if you're just getting started, okay, don't short. Don't do it unless your account's over like 25,000, and go for it. But it's just so hard, because if all you have to do is just short one play like this, and you're screwed, okay? Because then no one's gonna think this can go to freaking $45, okay? If I would have got long this, there's no way in hell I would have been holding by now. No way. It's just people think that the stocks can't go higher than what they can. And believe me, I've been doing this. I've seen shit for 6 years. Okay, GME, MBOT, BPTH, the list goes on and on and on. Kodak. Okay, they can go a lot higher than what you think. This will likely gap up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Friday, so the higher the better on this one. But it's just, I want you to understand, the main thing is price action. I see a lot of people saying the company's shit, the revenues, blah blah blah. The only thing that matters is price action. That is the only thing that matters in the end. Yes, if you're an investor, cool, yeah. But again, if you're an investor, you shouldn't be focused on these small cap stocks. Okay, these are mainly geared. This channel is mainly geared towards, I guess, day trading / swing trading. But like, it makes me really aggravated. And also, like, today, someone told me, I'm not gonna call them out, but like I'm in a Discord, and like I have price alerts set, and they're like, how come you didn't alert this earlier, this play I was in? And it just goes back to saying, like, do your own work. I don't know who you are, but don't rely on no one. Okay, it took me years to get to this point, and it just, the more I realize, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Okay, it's really fucking simple. Forgive my language, but stop trying to do everything at once. Stop trying to confuse everything. Just hone it down. This exact setup I'm showing you right now is the exact same shit I'm going to be showing you for the rest of the year, along with some other setups. But you get a big move, sideways, range break. They move in stairs, same exact shit, okay? And if you don't believe me, again, as I mentioned, keep a database of stocks. That is what you have to do. And it's going to suck doing it on the weekends, but you want to be average or you want to be great. That is what separates us the most. Like, this is, for instance, last year was probably the biggest database I've done ever. And it was just over 2 patterns, really. Episodic pivots and open range highs. That's really what it was, okay? Just like this. I'm going to show you the exact same shit I'm showing you now. It's pretty much the exact same stuff happening over and over again on apps last year. See, they move in stairs. They move in stairs. It's not random. It's just, again, this is my pattern. This is my strategy. Don't try to copy me, but if you want, do your own work. But whatever setup you're trying to trade, you have to have an edge behind it. You have to have a reason behind why you're trading is what you're trading. Otherwise, you're just gonna be random and not make any money. Now again, unless you're a day trader, like trading something like IBO, I day trade sometimes. It's just so hard. Because again, like on PSTV, for instance, no one knew this was going to go to 50 cents at a high of 208. No one knew that. But it's just so hard because these stocks are constantly moving. And most of these, again, these are like micro float runners. But most of them are shit. They're not going to have any legs. You want something with fuel in a sense. And as I mentioned, RGC really is, why does this keep doing that? I'm sorry. My keyboard keeps messing up, keeps glitching, so it has that on the top of the screen there. It's kind of funny. Go there. Okay. RGC, mentioned short squeeze. ABA is an earnings play. It's pretty much a back watch list. There's a price target on there. Growth was very strong. Wow. Year-over-year growth. That's interesting. Okay. Well, this is going to be on radar. I mean, ADR is ADR is roughly 9%. And again, I mean, it's just, we'll watch this one for sure. Over the high day, pretty much over the rest of yesterday's highs. If it gaps up and has continuation, then potentially yeah on that one. But I am currently in CRVO. Sorry, I'm making price alerts. And again, back to what I was saying. Do your own work. Set price alerts. Okay, like, whenever this hit, I missed it. I missed the initial entry. The initial entry was at $10. I missed that, but I got long in this range. Hold up here. I missed the initial entry was right here. Okay, opening range highs, break of 10, but I missed it, and I got long in this range right here. Okay, again, with this strategy, you don't want to chase really. You don't want to buy stock if it's more up than the average true range of the given stock. You really want to wait for a dip. Like, for instance, the average true range of this stock in particular is $1.06. So it's up $2.19 on a day. Right now it closed, but during the time right here, it was up about, well, it was up about $1. So it was pretty much, if the stock is greater than the average true range, you want to wait for a dip. Okay, but you want to buy it any time of day really works, but it works best in the morning and ideally afternoon. But yeah, ideally this is going to have go even higher. Who knows? Tomorrow's a Friday, and if not, no big deal. You just continue on. But this is pretty much the exact same type of play I'm trying to teach you here, okay? Again, I didn't learn this. It's not my pattern. It's just a variation of the same stuff. ATDX is another one I'm watching. This chart here does not show it, but I'm trying to find out here. They had numerous reverse splits. I'm just watching. I think tomorrow, it being a Friday, we have potential short trap interest on this, considering that there's a lot of people that I think are in this stuck. But we'll see what happens on this. It's more of a low odds setup on that one. But other than that, Redfin, no. That's really all I really wanted to talk about. There's not really that much going on. As I mentioned, the markets are kind of in limbo mode right now. But sorry if I went on a long rant. It's just I see a lot of people out there trying to force shit, and don't do it, because it's like the more you try, the more resistance you're going to feel. Okay, and again, the markets are not going to go nowhere. I don't know who you are. I probably never meet you, but my goal in all this channel is to help you not lose money. Okay, if you don't lose money, you're on the right track. You'll eventually find success in doing something right. Okay, you will. Just the goal is longevity. The goal is to survive in the beginning and to pretty much just make it. Okay, make it till you find some success. But most people don't reach that point because they blow up and they lose. This is just like poker. Okay, once you lose all your chips, go home. Okay, unless you're wealthy, unless you have money to fund your account again, then go for it. But I don't have that option. Okay, if I lose, I'm out. So I just want to help you, whoever you are, not lose. And hopefully you find that point, that aha moment in a sense. And that came to me when I realized that it's just, don't overcomplicate it. Focus on one or two setups and just do them over and over again. And there's going to be days when you sit on your hands, and that's fine. Go enjoy life. Because the markets are not going to go nowhere, okay? And whenever the market rallies back up, that's when it's time to push, okay? Preserve your mental capital. Preserve your energy. There's no need to force something that's not there, okay? Believe me, I was there. I know what you want to do. I had always the feelings of what I was trading. I was like, ooh, I know what you feel. Believe me, I know. But this is 6.5 years in this business. And again, I haven't made it by any means. I'm not claiming to be a millionaire. No. I'm just saying, like, when I say doing this for 7 years, I mean studying the markets, learning, backtesting, all that stuff. I've only been trading with real money for about a year or two, and there's a reason for that. I do it in the next, probably down the road. But I don't know. Okay? Hopefully this all made sense. Sorry if it felt like a long rant. I just had to get it out there, because I see a lot of people right now losing money, and I don't want you to lose money. Okay? Just, if you feel confused, then you probably shouldn't be trading. Okay? Get that idea. What's your why? What's your identity? What's your setup? What's your strategy? Okay, but other than that, textbook opening range high plays on this. Ideally gap up. If not, I want to probably use 1050, 11 as probably 11 as risk. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, I'll probably do a video lesson recap this Sunday to go over some things. But again, stay safe out there.